Hello, and welcome to Real Talk TV. My name is David Reddick, and I'll be your host today. I have a special guest on my show. I like to bring people from the community in to be involved in what's going on in our community. I like to spotlight our in-the-home fathers. Today I have an in-the-home father, an in-the-home husband, local husband, father, and he's involved in the music industry in this area. Mr. Jermaine Harris, how you doing today, sir?
No, I'm Mr. Reddick. How you doing?
Great, great. So, Mr. Harris, tell me a little bit about yourself. You're really good in music. I heard you play before. You know, we actually grew up together.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're a phenomenal piano player and a great recording artist. Tell me a little bit about what got you involved in music, in the music recording, in the music industry, and playing all together.
Well, I've been playing ever since I was 5 years old. I was playing by ear.
Right.
So I'm come on the radio, I just sit on the piano and I just started playing it. And my mom used to tell me all the time, you got a gift, you need to start using it. So I took it like from there. And plus, music was all around us anyway in the home,
Okay, that's good. Now tell me how this experience helped you in the experience you're having right now as a father, as a husband, as an example.
Well, this experience really helped me with this, to value, cherish, and love life. And also to love your loved ones, the people that's around you. Because, what I'm saying, you never know when that time might come, what I'm saying? That a person around you might pass or whatever the case may be. And then you'll walk around without this guilt, whatever, that's on you. Because like I said, there's some things that I promised my mom that I would do before she passed, but then know that in a blink of an eye, it'll be all taken away. But whatever your goal is in life, whatever, just go ahead and just do it. Right here, right now, while you are here. Because like I said, you never know when the time or the hour may be when you pass or whatever.
The Totalic belief system, they call it the angel of death.
Mm-hmm.
And they believe that the angel of death can come and take anyone at any time.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this, they make it their purpose and their goal in life to make sure that if they love someone, they tell them before they leave the house, I love you. Mm-hmm. If they care about someone, they make sure that person knows, and if they have a problem with someone, they go out of their way to make sure that it gets resolved, so that if the angel of death comes and decides to take them, they don't have any unfinished business.
Exactly.
And I kind of subscribe to that in my life. I try to make sure that people know how I feel about them, what I think about them. I'm not an extremely emotional person.
Yeah.
And that's just because I grew up with a strong father.
Mm-hmm.
And you experienced my father. My father was a very strong person, a compassionate person.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had a problem showing like the affectionate side of himself.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, he developed us into strong individuals too. And I appreciate that about him.
Yeah.
And I know your father was an example
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Your dad was an encourager.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad made me feel like I can conquer the world. And I lived up the street from you guys.
Yeah.
Your dad was my dad, and my dad was your dad to a point. So tell me about your father.
Well, my dad, he's, like you said, he was that encourager. He was that one that, that whenever you done things in the house, he really didn't come at you with it. But in a sense, you can tell. That's what kind he was. And my dad, same thing as my mom, God-fearing man, in the church, whatever the case may be, And then the thing about it was, just like some of my classmates, whatever that I went to school with, they would love to come around to the house, and like hang out with us, because back then, most of them came from like single home parents. Exactly. And just to see my brothers and sisters living in a home with a mother and a father, it like, whoa, I can't believe, and they love just to come around and just be around us like that.
And so how does that work with your kids? Do their friends come around the house all the time?
Yep, just like now.
It's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Same example. And it's funny how that happens. We develop into becoming either the best qualities we saw in our parents or the worst qualities.
Exactly.
And that's real talk right there.
Real talk.
It's amazing how we either become our parents or we become the polar opposite of our parents. I've seen kids that grew up, I've seen men that grew up with abusive fathers become abused husbands and things like that. But let's talk about your kids. tell me a little bit about what it's like for you being a father, being involved with your kids, and you know, some dads don't have the chance to be around their kids enough. Tell me, explain to me what it's like being a father, and I mean, you see your kids do things. I know they feel like you can read their minds sometimes,
yeah, exactly.
because they do the same thing we did.
Exactly.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, with my kids, they're like, when they do something around the house, and I can like look and be like, I didn't do it, Daddy. Yes, you did. Well, how you know? You know, because like we said, been there and we done that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And and my kids, they're all like different, but in the same token though, I know what one's doing and what the other's not doing. One here, one out, things that they're not supposed to be doing, the things that they're like getting into. You know what I'm saying? And one of them is quiet, the other one is sneaky, and then you know one of them, he's 13 now. Now he's at that tough stage. Like I'm going up the steps, he coming down.
Right.
Try to make me move over. But you know, this is all about, you know, just growing up. But he still know who Daddy is. The same way how he was. He still knew who Daddy was.
Exactly. I remember growing up, you know, the first thing our parents did, especially my dad, he put order in the house.
Yeah.
He said, I'm the dad. You don't tempt me, you don't test me, you don't try me. You know, my dad told me stories about people, and he put his own perspective on it to influence our thought process. You know, I think that's needed in the home, though.
Yeah.
You know, I think our kids need those boundaries, and I think a lot of the times what we miss in a marriage is, if we look back in the older marriages that worked, every entity of the house, the husband had a role to play, and the wife had a role to play.
Exactly.
I think we're missing that in our homes.
We are. And then at the same token, you know, a lot of things also that's within the house also have to go with the things that parents do around their kids. Because believe it or not, kids do take up and they observe what the parents are doing. Your
kids ever done something that you had just got through doing and embarrassed you?
My kids have done something that I done when I was little. And I was like, I remember I done did that before. And then, you know, it kind of, you know, spooked me out. I'm like, but you know, it's just, it goes around, comes around. It's just a learning process even that I had to go through. Same what they got to go through is coming up, you know.
You know. So let's share with the fathers, to these fathers out here who may be thinking about giving up, who may be at their wits' end, who doesn't know, you know, it's a struggle. The economy's low, and people are in a bad situation. Let's talk to those fathers. Tell them how you,
whatever obstacle, whatever goes on in your life, like I said earlier, just stand and just hold on. Because even right now, as I talk, there are some things that are going on within my life, issues that I have to handle as a man. I'm 32 years old and I'm still growing. But just believe, and with God you can conquer, you can do all things. Just remember that. With God you can do all things.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Harris. Can I bring you back on another show?
Of course.
Will you come back on my next show?
Yes, of course.
Because we're running short on time. I got the rest of this show to put together. But I want to bring you back, and I want to share some different entities of your life, and let's have real talk.
Okay.
And I like real talk. That's why we call it Real Talk TV. You know, what do you believe about perspective, just before, you know, as we wrap up?
Well, perspective is the way that you look at things. People can look at things in a wrong perspective or either in a good perspective. But as you said, the name of this is called Real Talk. And real talk might come from any person's perspective of life or whatever they're going through in their life that you talk about. And that's real talk to you. And don't get it misconstrued of lying in real talk, because it's not the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's my perspective of what you asked me.
All right, Mr. Harris. Thanks for coming out. Looking forward to seeing you on my next show.
Okay, thank you.
Real Talk.